647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey, tune in to the Bridge Podcast TX Tuesdays at 11 a.m., where we are connecting commerce with community, interviewing business owners and leaders in the community, allowing the audience to peek behind the curtain of what inspires, motivates, drives these individuals to have meaningful, positive impact in this community. For more information about the show, log into irlonestar.com/TBPTX.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show on this beautiful, beautiful Valentine's Day. Oh boy, the 14th, Valentine's Day. I hope you have given somebody some chocolate and some sweets or a heart or roses or what else you give on Valentine's Day. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of a big variety of Valentine's gifts, unless you just, like your wife wanted a washing machine, so you decide to wait till Valentine's Day to give it to her, something like that. But I don't know. There's or something romantic. If you did something romantic for your wife, that she knows you thought about it. You actually thought about it, and you wrote her a poem, or you wrote her a song, or you're going to take her out to dinner, to a movie, to a play, to dance, or whatever you're going to do. But it's something that you thought about, or something that you really can't stand to do, but you're going to do it anyway because she likes it. And so if that's what you're doing, and what's great is that we do have a little bit of distraction from the balloons or the whatever they are, or the aliens. I love that. Whatever is flying up there. I think it's all copycat stuff. Now they're just, seeing how much the Air Force can send out, how many planes and shoot off how many very expensive missiles. And they can't find one of them. Or maybe they finally located it, but they had shot and missed one of these. And to me, it looks like it's like shooting fish in a barrel, but I don't know how you can miss it, but they did. And so that was not good. What's bad is that we're going to take this stance, and we're going to be like tough guys, anything that flies, and we doesn't have a sticker on it, or they haven't called into the, to the main hub of an airport or something, then you're going to get it. And I guess that's the message they want to send, probably. But I've got something for Richard to do today. While I'm talking, I know he'll hurry up and do this, so I'll quit talking. But if you'll look up on YouTube, YouTube, and the Super Bowl ad. U2 and the Super Bowl ad. This is very interesting to me. Bono was at the State of the Union address, and Biden had invited him to come up and sit up in the balcony, and he was there. And they were touting the fact that the stuff that he's doing, I think he's doing a concert to help feed the poor, and it's called Achtung Baby or something like that. It's very strange, but the ad is so weird and inappropriate for at this time to play this ad, because now I'm not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's just I'm sorry, conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy person, but this is just interesting that he was there, and then this ad is on the Super Bowl, and this ad has in it. Do you see what I'm talking about, Richard? Have you gotten to it yet?
Are you talking about the one with the sphere?
Yes.
Okay.
Sphere. It looks like a balloon because they do another shot and it's a balloon.
Yeah.
People are down on the ground looking up, and looking up at this balloon, and they're all like dazed and confused. What's going on? So I'm sure they made this ad way before all this stuff started happening, and it was already done. But it was just very ironic that it happened, and he was at the State of the Union, and they have this Super Bowl ad that is reflecting this sphere that looks like a balloon. I mean, you can't tell what it is totally, but it's reflecting the images on the ground. And there's two different types of balloons that are doing this. And then it shows people looking up at the balloon and staring at it. And then this baby comes on, and it has a helmet, like a clear helmet, and it goes, Achtung Baby. And so anyway, if you haven't seen that yet, but I thought, this is weird. They are talking about so much trash right now.
I'm looking it up, and
you don't see it?
Well, I looked up the ad, and what it is, it's promoting a new venue in Las Vegas called the MSG Sphere.
Sphere. Oh, okay.
So it is, I think they're trying to say is U2 is going to be the first band to play it.
Oh, okay.
It costs $2.1 billion.
Oh, my word.
And Achtung means danger in German.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Danger Baby.
Danger Baby. Oh, cute.
So I don't really if it follows your conspiracy theory, because it is a legit place.
No, that's fine. But what I'm saying is you're watching the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden this ad comes on, and it doesn't explain all that you explain. It doesn't have.
Here, I pulled it up for you to look at over here if you want to look at it.
Can the people see it?
Yeah, I just pulled it up for them.
Oh, cool.
So it's right there where you're seeing on the screen. These are the spheres that they're building.
Right.
So it's going to be a venue in Vegas.
Okay, but the one they're using in the, can you play the ad? I guess you can't play the ad.
What's funny is I looked at the ad, and at the very, very end of it, which you probably missed, was the sphere landing in Vegas. It lands.
I guess it didn't play the whole thing then on YouTube. I thought I was watching the whole thing.
Well, it's at the very, very end.
Is it after the carrot drops?
Let's see. Yeah, so here, I'm going to pull it up for you. Let the audience see it.
Okay, and the audience, you're looking at this.
This is the Super Bowl ad. So they have the baby talking, and then you see the sphere landing very quickly in Vegas.
Oh, you could never have.
See, live at the sphere.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, but play the beginning of it. The beginning of where
it's flying through the world.
It's flying over the world, reflecting everything that it sees. So it's just, see? And the people, Now that looks like a Remax balloon, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
So they're going to the balloon, and it's the baby. I don't really know why they're doing a baby, but
They're going to the balloon. Go to the balloon. Follow the light. Well, I just thought.
So
it
when
was
we go, where are we going to do the show at the Sphere?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Vegas in so long. My dad and my mom and my sister and I went to Vegas. My mother just wanted to see it. She said she'd, see it in movies and all that stuff. And so we get there and we're driving up to where our hotel is. And so I said, I asked the taxi driver, I said, so what would you suggest for a group that does not want to see any nudity, that doesn't want to see anyone cursing, or that...
Why would you go to Vegas for that kind of...
No, so the taxi driver turns around and goes, I'm going to take y'all back to the airport.
Yeah.
Because that's all there is.
That makes sense.
So we had to try and find something we could take our parents to, and we take them to this one show, and it seemed like it was going to be a nice family show. And
They have family shows there.
yeah, but maybe now, but we couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden these guys that are dancing and all that turn around and they rip their pants off. And so my dad said, I think I just got mooned 300 times. I don't know what happened. What is going on here? Why are they naked? And I said, it's Vegas, and you know what they say. But he thought that was horrible. And then he went out to where all the gambling was going. And my dad said, look at all these old women sitting here in wheelchairs and whatever, and using all their husbands' hard-earned money to gamble it away. It just disgusted him. He thought that was horrible. But it looked like everybody was having a good time. And I understand now what they say about how you get hooked on gambling. That was the first time I gambled. And so I just told Samuel, give me a 20, and then that's what I'll just gamble until it's gone, and that's it. That's a big lie. That's like saying, I'm just going to eat a couple of bites of this chocolate cake, and that's all I'm going to do, and I'll throw it the rest away. And you start thinking, okay, this next time I'm going to win. And it doesn't work. And I remember whenever they started talking about having the lottery come to Houston, and they were just saying, this is so great because we're going to do so many good things with this money. We'll have all this money from people buying the lottery tickets, and then some will win, some will lose. That's the point. And then, but the money that the city's going to have, we'll make our schools better. We're going to enrich all the infrastructure of everything that's starting to fail. We're going to do that with all this money. It's so exciting. Oh my word, that never ever happened. And so whenever they're now talking about making gambling legal in Texas, it's very hard, because it's just totally two different sides of it, and what it will do, and what kind of people it brings in, and what the cities that have gone to gambling, what's happened to them. And so I can understand both sides of it, because people get hooked on that, and then they don't bring home money for the kids to have food, and the children. You have to think about the children, Richard. So have you ever found yourself gambling on games and things like that?
No.
You never have? I haven't. That was my only gambling experience, was that. Do you ever buy lottery tickets?
No.
Okay. So you saved a lot of money, but you could have won, and that was all the money that you could have won that was there waiting for you, and you were going to be the next one with the numbers. No. Okay, that's good. You're so smart, Richard. That's good. He smiled at that. Okay. So it's Valentine's Day. And that'll distract everybody from the balloons and what's going on with the shooting, whatever those objects are. But we're still so hungry to know what that is. But maybe we can replace it with Valentine's Day. And Richard, please tell me, what is it you're going to do for Valentine's Day, you and Holly?
Oh, we're gonna go out to dinner.
Where are you going?
I'm not gonna tell people where I'm going.
You think they'll flock?
Let's go. We're going to our favorite place. There you go.
Is
So-
it?
She thought I forgot, and I was like, and I even told her, like, well, we've been busy, so. And this is something, a discussion I have with Holly pretty much every year. Is like she puts a lot of emphasis on the man doing the Valentine's Day.
Yes,
And
I understand that.
I always kind of counter her all the time, going like, why isn't it supposed to be a joint thing? But in her mind, no, it's like, this is the day you, like, I know for sure she'll make a comment about who pays for dinner and things like that. And I
where's
love
the-
you, Holly. So she's probably listening, and she's like, I want to get him when we go out to eat.
But where is the equity in that? No,
No, I know because we don't have any children, and we're trying to build a better future. So that conversation always comes up. It's like, who's paying for what? Blah 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 blah. Everywhere we go, that kind of thing.
Well, now that she's in
But
the
Valentine's
money,
Day
no, what
is
are you
one.
gonna do?
Valentine's Day is one of those days. It's like no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like you're paying for it and you're doing it. And
So get a second job. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you're going to pay for
I've been
it.
working all year.
I know it. Bless your heart. She's been going to school and
Yeah.
and slaving
But-
over that. Now there's something to really celebrate. She's now an RN.
Yeah.
And so when y'all go out and go to your favorite place, I went to your favorite place, and I'm trying to get.
It's not Waffle House. So that's what you're thinking. It's our favorite place. Waffle House is my favorite place.
Waffle House.
Yeah.
That's your favorite place.
Yeah.
Really? Do you get the grits there?
No, I do not do grits.
Oh, grits are great. That's the only thing really good there. But but it's like going back old school. I like the Waffle House for
Yeah.
that. They haven't changed anything. They haven't changed the light bulbs. She hadn't changed anything there.
Well, I'm one of those people who, when they go to restaurants, it's not really the experience is like why I'm there. It's more of like, I know I can get my food there at a decent time. I know what I want to eat. I know it's going to be good, regardless who the cook is.
Right.
So it's like I like that because it's easy getting there, and I feel satisfied after I leave the meal.
Well, I'm so excited for y'all. Are you going to take her to a movie?
No.
No?
No.
Y'all watch movies at home
Yeah.
on Netflix.
I think for the date aspect, we're literally just going to dinner and spending some time together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So
And no arguing or anything like
No,
that. You're just going to
of
be
course not.
sweet. Okay. And when you say, "Oh, I forgot my wallet at home,"
then she'd be like, "We're not going to dinner then."
no,
That's what she'll say. She's like,
No,
"You're supposed
that's
to
gonna
drink.
be-
You better
that's-
make up for this." Well, no, because it's one of those things. I always like listening to people's logic behind the stuff they care about. So it's more of like, hypothetically, if we went out yesterday.
What did you do
Well, that's what I'm
yesterday?
saying, on the 13th. Say that's when we went out, but on the 14th, you're still required to do something, and it always makes me laugh. It's like, okay, so say every day I gave her a flower every day, but the 14th. I wonder if she would still be like, "Where's my flower?" It's Valentine's Day.
I bet she
Yeah,
would.
is that what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? But people even have that concept where it's like Valentine's Day has to be the day. And I always wonder about the people who have birthdays on holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if your birthday's on the 14th and you're a lady, it's like, do you expect twice as much? Or is it more of like, some folks who were born on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, it's like, do they expect twice as much
Well,
that
we
day?
we got married on Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and all my friends said, "Don't do it. Just don't do it. You're going to get one present, and that's all you're going to get,
Yeah.
and that'll be it." They were right. And nothing's open. Nothing's going to
Well,
be open.
it's funny. We got married on the 28th, and it's funny when we look at, where we're spending Christmas. What are we doing? Because if we're traveling, like say we're visiting family, well, if we leave the 26th, that only gives us a couple days till our anniversary. So we're always kind of like, should we just group everything? Where like if we go visit family, we're gonna leave the family and go on our, our anniversary, do something around there,
Right.
that kind of thing. Because it's kind of one of those things. Like, we're already out here.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? That kind of thing. But it's one of those things. It's, especially when you're close to New Year's Eve too. So it's like, would you rather just go out for New Year's Eve for our anniversary? Well, it's not on the 28th. So it's like, okay, well, how are we supposed to, A, financially do this, and B, it's like our time, because especially with her job and the station here, it's like she can only afford a few days off, and especially with her job, sometimes you don't get holidays off.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's just kind of luck of the draw. It's like they depending on the hospitals, they might do a thing where, say they have 10 nurses in her position, they'll be like, okay, who wants to volunteer and work Thanksgiving? And then like if you volunteer and get Thanksgiving, you have a higher chance of getting Christmas or New Year's off. You're not going to get both off.
But you don't get paid more.
I think it depends on the hospital. You might get paid more.
Okay.
Or the position too.
Well, that was always mine, because we could have Christmas anytime, and I said let's just do something like do Christmas on the 30th, or when
especially when you're at your
sales
age,
come.
you have grandkids, so there's a whole logistics thing. Because I come from a family of, I want to say there's 28 of us, like in my immediate family. And so it's like, okay, so how do we realistically spend time together? And then I think my mother, to give you an idea, like my mom still has Christmas gifts because she hasn't seen certain family members.
For a long time?
For a long time.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
It's like, oh, we'll see you when we see you. And then, so.
My sister's trunk is full of baby shower gifts, of birthday gifts, and they're all wrapped. And she just... And she's a preacher's wife, so she'd have to go to different events, and everybody expects the preacher's wife to be there at all these things. So she just has all the gifts up there and just pulls it out, and she's so smart. But
Valentine's Day's today. What are you and Sam? Do y'all do anything? Y'all to give a card or?
He said, "Happy Valentine's Day."
He remembered,
and he was going. Yes, and he was going to the doctor's office, and I went, "Happy Valentine's Day," and I went off to a meeting
at school. Yeah,
at school. It was just that would be it. But I made him for the Super Bowl. I made him a dish. He loves my tuna dip, so I made him this big plate of tuna dip, and I took the dark cherry, not grapes, the black grapes, and I did a 57 with them. And then put the Cheetos that he loves to eat it with as a goalpost. It was so cute. And I told him, okay, happy Super Bowl, happy Valentine's, happy everything, because this took a while to do. But he loved it, and he ate every single bit of it. This is horrible, because if you eat my tuna dip, you can just hear your arteries clogging, because I do it with mayonnaise and tuna and a lot of mayonnaise, and make it so smooth it's almost like it's whipped. It's so good. And then you eat it with chips. It's such a great thing to eat, and while you're watching sports. And we can't wait for the Astros to get get playing again, because I watched every bit of the Super Bowl. I didn't mean to. I didn't want to. I brought over where he was watching TV. I brought the tuna dip and all that stuff and gave it to him. And he says, "Don't you want to watch this?" And I went, "No." He says, "Well, just watch this with me. It'll be good." And I said, "Okay, only if I pick one side and you pick the other, and we'll do it for and the other person has to put up 20, and you put your 20 right there, and we were gambling. I guess that was bad. But anyway, he said, "No, I'm not going to bet on this because I don't like either one." But as soon as that guy that had the bad ankle, Mahone.
Yeah, he's been having a bad ankle for several weeks.
I know, and I got goosebumps all in my arms, going like, "Oh, that poor guy!" When he grabbed him with his legs, and I thought, "Oh dear!" And Sam said, "Well, that's it. The Eagles are going to win, and so there's no more. We can watch something else." And I went, "No, he's going to come back. He's going to come back. The Chiefs are going to win."
He gets those injections and give him smelling salt, and it's like, all right, let's go.
You know, he came hip.
Yeah,
he came zippity doo out of there, and he was hot, and he was really walking great. I just want to know what they gave him. Like,
yeah,
that's amazing. So it was an exciting game, though. Wow. And it happened so fast. There was like a touchdown the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
of the game. Did you watch the whole thing?
No, I didn't watch really any of it.
You didn't?
I was working.
Oh. Well, you were working
Yeah,
on
I work.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. I know, because you have to pay for that dinner tonight. I know. That's good.
Pretty much how it goes.
That's good, Richard. I'm proud of you. I think that's great. But so anyway, that was the weekend, and I don't know what's coming up, but we're going to find out tomorrow what's coming up in Conroe, because we've got 2 guests.
Well, I know the Go Texan Parade. I think it's
That's
this
the
weekend.
18th.
Yeah, it's this weekend.
That's this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Grief, that's so fast. Yeah, the Go Texan Parade in
Downtown
Conroe.
Conroe. I gotta look up
Downtown
when it
Conroe.
starts. Yeah.
18th. And I've got to find out when that Billy Joel
Starts
experience.
at 1 o'clock, if I'm reading everything correctly.
Wait, is that the parade is at 1 o'clock?
Yes.
I moved on to
1 to 3.
Okay, 1 to 3. So come down, line the streets, line the beautiful downtown Conroe, and it's so much fun, and get to know your neighbors and watch them come down. I don't know what bands are playing. I guess they don't say that. It'll
Are you
be a
talking about
surprise.
for the rodeo? Or are you talking about for the parade?
The parade?
Why would a band be playing during the parade?
But you always have a band during a parade, don't you?
No.
Well, what are they going to do? Ride horses?
Yeah.
Just that's it?
It's a community event, so you can get what do you call it? Floats and things. People can get into it. So you'll see a bunch of political people. You'll see local clubs and schools.
Where do you think the music's going to come from? It's a band. The band's got to be playing.
Yeah, it just goes throughout downtown Conroe, so there's no way to get a band like on every corner playing the same thing.
No, you just have one band that marches behind the floats.
They might have a
or in
marching
front of the
band.
floats. Yes. What you think I meant? You thought I meant like a
band.
band? No,
Like what
no.
people think when they hear, "Hey, have you seen the band?"
This orchestra is going to walk down the.
Yeah, but I bet it's several schools. I don't think it's just one band, like one marching band. I imagine. I have no idea.
Well, if it's going to be a
It
long
changes
parade,
every
they
years-
They
every
pace
year.
them. I mean, they pace them so they're far apart from each other. But no, those are fun. You can lose your children in those things too. You have to be very careful and watch the children. Except our police are so amazing, because I've told y'all the story about how I got Cindy and Samuel, and Cindy got away from us, and I didn't know where she was, and I told an officer, I said,
yeah, that wasn't during the parade though.
no, that was Cajun thing. But I asked the officer, I said, hey, I can't find my granddaughter.
Yeah.
And they go, okay. And they shut everything down. So,
That was Kids Fest. That
They-
wasn't the Cajun Catfish Festival.
okay. Whatever. There was a lot of people there.
I mean,
It was a lot of people, a lot of things going on, and you can get, you just get distracted. But I'm just trying to tell you, you should feel very safe, because they will shut
Yeah, it's gonna
down
be a fun
every
event.
entrance to it.
you get here early if you want a good seat.
Do they? I wonder if they're going to have like the parking over at Target, and you
I don't know.
ride the bus over. We'll find out.
don't know.
But we're going to have the public information guy and his assistant tomorrow, and they're going to give us. There's an announcement he wants to make about a prestigious award that this city has won, and then there's going to be.
Is it going to be the no accidents, no train accidents, no balloon sightings award for
Man, we
365 days?
like barely. I got to ask him about. We have so many railroads.
Yeah. Well, that's what Conroe.
crossings.
That's the switch is right here down the road.
Is it?
Yeah. That's what Conroe. Right behind the old studio. That's where the old switch is. I don't know if it's still operational. I imagine it is, because sometimes I know there's trains going through it, but I don't know if the switch is still there.
Well, the Pacific Yard House.
Yeah.
That's and then Moco Food Hall has that vault where they keep the gold bullion.
Okay.
I'm sure it's not bullion. I'm sure it's, what do you call it? What are the gold
Bars?
bars? Yeah. I didn't
Where are
mean
you going
bullion.
with this?
And I was just talking about how interesting it is. The different places that we have to eat down here is amazing.
It's changing.
And they're right up next to the railroad, and we just can't have anything like that happen like it happened in Splendora. I feel so bad for those people, but there wasn't any release of chemicals or anything like that, so they were okay, and that's good. But Christy works in Splendora, so it scared me, and then I saw what the pictures, and it was like, I think it's gonna be okay, and she was already in school. But I just got to ask tomorrow, who is in charge of that? Like, who's in charge of the railroad? What do you call them? The transportation?
Isn't it the comptroller?
I
have no idea.
But there's someone that's supposed to be like really in charge of that. And the, are our railroads safe? Are they
So the
old?
Texas Department of Transportation has a rail division.
Mm-hmm.
And the Texas Department of Railroad Commissions. There you go.
Well, I just wonder who inspects that all the time. Like they do at airports, they inspect the planes, they go over the planes and make sure and all that stuff. But what happens to the trains? How do they inspect the trains, and how do they make sure they're okay? But that's horrible what happened in...
Clearly they don't do a good job because there's spray paint all over all of them.
Oh, man. That's so 80s.
It still happens, though. I mean, I live right by a train, so I get stopped by a train occasionally, and it's like, I wonder if they get mad when they discover these spray paints, because there's got to be some guy who puts really bad stuff on them at one point, like, curse words or whatever.
True. But they're usually really beautiful, and they're very talented.
But I wonder if they're like, oh, don't worry about those, but we got to paint these.
Yeah.
And that's some guy's poor job. It's like, oh, these dang kids.
Well, I don't know how they get away with it. I mean, they have to come like dead of night, and
how many people do you think are in a train yard, watching the train yard?
They've got to have security.
Yeah, but how many do you think? I bet it's like 5 people. So it's like
every night.
Plus, I imagine those artists are really fast.
Yeah,
I imagine it's not like they're sitting there taking their time, putting their thumb, doing that thing. Like, I think that's gonna be good.
Let's see what you're the
Yeah.
best. It's amazing. I can't believe they do such a good job. But I loved how the communities had started in the 80s. It started hiring them to come in and spray paint.
Yeah, it's an art form.
But not spray paint. What do you call it?
Graffiti
eyes, those blank walls.
Yeah.
In the
that's how that
downtown.
one artist, that graffiti artist, made all that money from Facebook.
True.
Yeah,
that's
he
true.
made millions of dollars.
Yeah, good grief, that's amazing. But did you see my what Cindy did on TikTok? You don't have it?
I don't. I mean, we technically have TikTok, but I don't actively go on it.
Oh, you do have it. Okay, then.
Yeah, at home I do, on the iPad at home.
Well, you should see what she did.
That's nice.
By herself. She said, "This isn't that hard to do. You can put stuff on there." But she edited stuff down from the show. It was from the Johnny Carson show, and she did it, and it got 1,600 views and 108 likes. What's the difference between a view and a like?
What do you think? What do you think it is?
Well, I mean, I think somebody saw it and they really liked it, and so they pushed like. But is the view? Do they look at the whole thing, or do they just? Is it just going by?
They probably saw it. If I had to guess,
so
that counts as a view. They saw it.
Okay, at least they saw a little bit of it or something, and said, "What is this? Who is this? Who's that guy? The white hair?" Probably didn't know who it was, but Cindy's friends liked it, and they said to her, "But that doesn't mean your grandma's going to see what we put on TikTok, is it?" Because I said, "Well, why would they be afraid? Do they do bad stuff?" And she said, "Well, probably, and they just don't want you. They want to make sure you don't go to any of their TikTok things." I said, "I don't even know your friends' names. Plus, it's like Instagram. Why does everybody have a code to their name? Because I have no idea when it says you have a message on Instagram. And so I go to it and I go like, well, I don't even recognize these names. Why they do that? They go like, didn't Florian is the only one, because all he did was flip his name. He put Florian Denton. But everybody else has like numbers and all that kind of stuff, like it's a password. And I'm like, why would they do that to their name? You want to know who it is that just sent you something.
I don't know what you're talking about, Cindy. Sorry.
Okay. Instagram. Do you have Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you mean like their username is different from their name?
Yes.
It's probably because it was taken.
No.
Only one person can have a username. So if my name is Denton Florian and someone took Denton Florian, I can't do it. So they come up with a creative way, Florian Denton. Now, when it comes to email addresses and things like that, I know that was a practice in certain businesses where they'd always do the first name because they had so many Dentons.
They'd have
so
like
if you're trying to auto find it or find it, it's like, oh, well, there's only like one Florian in the company, so type in Florian and there it is.
Yeah. Well, it's confusing. I
guess, indeed.
To me, I know you. Richard's always talked about he wanted to start a school for elderly people. Did you call them elderly?
No, I said I would like to start a school or a class that is basically everyone reaches that age that you have no idea about the previous generation and what they do. So it's just education on what the previous generation is doing, especially how fast everything's going.
Right.
So, like, for example, if you came to class today, it'd be about TikTok. So there you go.
And he thought that would be really good for me to take. And instead of me asking people to do this for me, he said, you've got to learn to do this yourself. But people get aggravated with me and they take it away and say, here, give me your phone. I'll do it. This is ridiculous. You take too long to do stuff. And so you need somebody with patience. And I
listened to a Bill Maher podcast the other day with Fran Lebowitz. Do you know who Fran Lebowitz is?
Uh-huh.
So I'm listening to her, and I had no idea who she was. And they talk about that, like how young people don't really know who she is. But then I could definitely tell through her conversation is she kind of is like, I don't really care about what the world's doing. Because she even made a comment about, oh, I had a Netflix special or Netflix something. She doesn't even know what Netflix is. And so she didn't care to learn what Netflix was, but she's like, I'm getting more recognition I've ever gotten in my life because people go, you're the person on Netflix. But she doesn't know how to get to Netflix. She doesn't have Netflix. She says, I don't even have Wi-Fi at my house. And she didn't have a phone. She didn't have like an iPhone. She has like a landline.
A landline?
Yeah. And I'm like,
awesome.
Okay, so this lady's made her money somehow down the line where she's famous enough to get a Netflix deal. So she got paid for that. But then she has no idea how the world works. So she would be a great candidate for the class.
Right.
Because she's starting at the bottom.
But
she has no idea.
But she doesn't
She
care.
doesn't know the last 50 years of anything because she's stuck in her ways.
But it's so embarrassing.
Which
to
isn't a
have to
negative thing. It's like, but
say.
what makes me think about people like this is it's like when it comes to making crucial decisions, when it's, a disaster or, an emergency, it's like they're not going to really know how to navigate through these things.
Oh, true. No, that's true.
So it's kind of like, I wonder how this woman survived during the pandemic. And not saying because she doesn't have, entertainment, but it's more of like, do you know how to cook food? Do we even know how to do that? And during the freeze here, people freaked because they didn't have propane. And,
Right.
they couldn't cook. They were just freezing. They didn't have heat. It's like, what do you do?
That was probably the only fun thing about that is like having a fire in the fireplace and having the propane, like
Stove,
the
so you can
hunting
cook.
school stove
Yeah.
and cook steak. And we had,
And it was delicious, wasn't it?
it was delicious.
Yeah,
It
so
really
we had
is the
canned
best.
food. We had our stove still worked. So we luckily had plenty of good hot food for the days.
How'd your stove work?
Because it's propane. It was gas.
Oh,
Like, you need to get with it.
well, they're going to be taken away. So
No, I don't think it's funny. The more you babble on about that, it's like, no, really what they're doing.
wait, the more I
You
what?
babble on about taking away our stove. Like, from what I understand, it's like they're trying to do a controlled building code. Meaning, like, if you're going to build a house and you want to meet a standard in this area, we have a requirement that the stove can't have gas. But I'm sure if you're rich enough or you have the ability, it's kind of like people who live on well water.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's like, all right, if you have the ability to, you can do it. But like if I'm building a skyscraper in New York City, it's like, no, you can't do gas. We're not going to have a gas line in the building. Mm-hmm. But I bet they do have a gas line for the heat or something like.
Every show.
Does that make sense? Like that.
I'm
The
just
more I hear about that, it's like it's not like they're going to come to your house and be like, "Do you have a gas stove?" Well, you need to get a new one. Like they're not going to do that. It's
rip it out of the
yeah.
wall and say that's it. But I think that it's so funny because every show on HGTV and then them redoing houses and all that are all gas stove. They all say, "I've got to have a gas stove. I'm not going to cook on an electric stove." And
Well,
it's like a
induction
big
stoves
deal.
are awesome, but you also have to cook towards that.
What do you mean?
Like
What do
you have to
mean?
have special pans. And you have to understand how it cooks differently than like a gas stove.
Well, what I have no idea is I have an electric stove, and I have no idea how to use the air stuff, the air fryer.
Okay.
What
What's it
What's it
I have no
called?
idea, Cindy.
is?
There's an air fryer. There's an oven.
This oven has. It says convection.
Yeah, convection.
Okay. So I have no idea how to use that. Do you use yours?
I don't have a convection oven.
Oh, well, I just have no idea. I think it's different. I also don't know how to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you get those
use-
kind of appliances, you have to like work towards understanding how they work differently from like what you're used to.
You just turn it on, and that's all you have to do. I like the stuff that you do where you have, the timer and the clock, and it'll go off and tell you when to come get this, and that's fine. That's all I need. That's it.
So I'm
And I
looking
cook
at
it.
it. I'm looking it up on the internet, and the pro of having a convection oven is it has a little fan that blows hot air while cooking like a traditional oven. So the hot air is evenly placed around the
distributed
oven.
so that's all it does?
That's the only difference between a regular oven and that oven.
I thought you cooked with it. I thought it was something that you turned on.
It just has a fan in it instead
But
of
just-
like electric, some electric ovens just have that little coil at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then they have a coil up top for boiling, and then the convection oven has the same kind of
For broiling.
broiling. Sorry,
Yeah.
not boiling. And then it just has a fan in it. It just blows around the hot air.
And that's it.
It's better for like baking and things like that.
Oh, for baking, to make it sure it's even.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank
There you
you,
go.
Richard. That was so sweet.
It's easy.
I love how he just goes through the internet and finds all the things that.
So
I'm saying
they're
that's
more
wrong.
expensive. So you're clearly living the high life.
Oh, it is?
They're more expensive than traditional ovens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we overbought on that stove. But what we
But
underbought.
a good stove is awesome.
But see, here's the deal. Don't ever get all glass. Is yours glass? Is y'all's glass? Do y'all have electric stove? And it's the glass top stove.
That's what induction ovens are. Or induction stoves, I mean.
I didn't know that's what they were called.
Yeah, it's flat.
Yes,
and they have
flat.
like burners underneath.
Right.
Yeah, so you didn't even know that's a really great way to cook.
Yes. Okay.
But if you have the right pans, it's even better.
But what difference would that
Do you
make?
even cook?
on the-
Do you even cook?
do I even cook? I cook all the time.
I'm kidding.
I cook all the time, but I only have like 3 main things that I
Yeah,
cook.
but
Like, I
those
don't
things
know.
get hot faster and
Yes.
they cook evenly if you have the right pans.
Yes.
Some pans don't even work.
But one of the burners.
I think if you have steel, for what pan it is, like you can use cast iron, And then
Ugh, cast iron.
I don't think porcelain works. I think porcelain one.
No.
It has to have some type of sensor on it that it detects. Like it detects certain types of metal.
Well, I just get those diamond infused pans.
I
The
guess.
ones they
They work.
advertise on
They
TV.
work. They work.
And they say it will never scratch. Look what we can do to it. And
Yeah.
they doing all this stuff to it and all that. I got it about 3 days, and I got that stuff off of there.
Yeah.
And by cutting the steaks up, because it was telling me you can do this, you can cut the steaks up.
Doesn't mean you should do it.
And they forgot to tell me that if you're going to bake marshmallows and chocolate and cookies stuff,
Yeah.
and you put that make s'mores in the oven, they forgot to tell me that that handle was going to get really hot, and you need to, because I thought it's wood,
no.
and so I thought the wood, it's not going to.
You probably shouldn't even put it in the oven.
Probably shouldn't. Now that I think, but I.
I mean, I don't
But
know
anyway,
what
it got
you're
ready
doing.
in 25 minutes, and
Some
I was so
people-
excited, and I grabbed the thing.
But yeah, you kind of like the way I look at it is if you're gonna put that much money into like you cook, it's like you kind of work around what you're cooking on, and then you get the right type of pans and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's way too much.
But that's why
work.
I like cast iron because cast iron works like pretty much anywhere, and you can put it in the oven. It's gonna be hot,
Yeah,
but I mean cast iron is probably my favorite.
but you have to be careful.
Why?
With that? Well, because it gets so dirty, and you can't tell if you've got it really good and clean.
Do you not clean it every time you use it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you do that, but it's like it's all black, and you don't know if it's
I don't know what
burnt
kind of.
stuff is in there.
You
just
probably
doesn't
don't
feel
clean
like
it.
it's-
That's what you're telling me is you don't take care of your cast
No,
irons.
no, because they tell they
That's
said was,
literally what I'm hearing right now.
No, that's not true. They said, okay, you cook in
You're
this
probably one of
pan.
those people. It's like, well, it's supposed to season it,
Yes,
so I
that's
left the hamburger crumbs in there. Yeah, duh.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I know
so-
exactly. You know what's funny is I already know it's like living with you, and it's hilarious to me. I would have a great time with it.
You would have so
My
much
wife,
to talk
my wife
about.
and we have so many funny moments where she's probably one of the best people I know who can clean anything, like just anything. Like when it comes to clothes, comes to countertops, windows, all that kind of stuff.
okay,
so
but-
she knows what to do, what to use. But when it comes to cooking, it's like it's lost on her. And I'm like, no, it's very similar. There's a process. This is what you need. And it's like it will never connect. But she'll understand how to clean that pan and the best way to do it because she likes to hand clean everything.
Yeah.
And I still have this argument with her with the dishwasher's use. Like, what's the use of the dishwasher? And because she likes to hand clean everything.
I clean it before I put it in the dishwasher.
Well, I know. I mean, that's fine, but she doesn't use the dishwasher. Like, so she'll,
she doesn't.
like, if we cook, she'll just hand clean everything and leave it and then dry it and put it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, sometimes, like, we really need to put the utensils in there. And she's like, why? I was like, well, because we put those in our mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You want that heat. Yeah.
Well, it's the bacteria, and, like, the dishwasher really cleans that out.
right.
And because it'd be all right if it's just you and me, but if there's, like, 15 people here, like, you just never know. Like, I'm not going to, that kind of thing. Like, you could scrub it all you want, but it's like you never really know. But
But I want to stop you when you said she knows how to clean a glass top stove.
anything.
She knows. What do you use? I've gone to
Barkeeper's friend.
Barkeeper's friend. I've got that.
That's probably the most utility use cleaner in the kitchen.
But I think that
And it also depends on what pad you're using. So, like, from what I understand about the glass, like, you don't want to use a wire brush.
right.
You don't want to use anything metal. And then you can probably use Barkeeper's Friend and then with, like, a normal Scotch sponge.
If y'all don't know what Barkeeper's Friend is,
It's really good.
it is amazing. It cleans.
But yeah, that's what you use to
Anything.
clean that, probably, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and I tried, but I think I may have let it go too long with the stuff that is, boiled over and got on that circle, and I feel like I gotta get a razor and try and scrape that off, and I know that's going to be bad for it. It won't be good, so I don't.
I wouldn't get a razor. I'd probably just get a window cleaner, but like similar to a window cleaner tool, but plastic. Maybe plastic.
A plastic to get off there.
And you can also look it up on the internet on your phone, saying like, "How do I clean this oven?"
Well,
because most people don't really know how to clean. Like my favorite tidbit about ovens is people don't know you can take the door off. Most ovens, like pretty much every oven, you can take the door off, and it's pretty easy.
Oh, I didn't know, and because you're always leaning.
Yeah, if you're trying to clean, it's like you can. There's usually there's two hinges. Like when you open the oven, where the joint is, there's usually like a hinge that you have to push forward or pull back, and it unlatches, and then you push it back up slightly, and then you can lift it off like a door. What is a door?
That's awesome to know.
But
Not
yeah,
gonna ever do it,
Holly taught me that. So because I'm telling you, she knows how to clean anything.
She needs to write a book.
So,
and y'all let me have it, because I can give it to somebody that I can have come over and clean the house. I had a maid say, Miss Cindy, I'm not coming back over to this house. I cannot clean your house, because when I come back, it's not as clean. Like I thought it would stay the same, but it never stays the same. I said, well, that's,
that's even like Holly's philosophy on maids is the maids just get the surface. They'll never clean anything deep, so you have to work with them on doing certain things.
And always stay there probably too, and not leave and go somewhere else and come back.
And she also thinks it's like you can save money by saving their time. So like she'll mop the floors so they don't have to mop, but that focuses them on things that, I don't know, whatever. That's if we have a maid. When we have a maid, we had a maid for a bit, and it was very helpful because she was really busy and I was really busy, and it's just like I can't do this.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
well, Cindy is of the age where she said, "Grandma, I will clean the kitchen," because her job's supposed to be washing the dishes. So she said, "Listen, if I clean this kitchen, will you pay me so I can get stuff for Valentine's Day?" And I said, "Sure, like I'll give you $20. She says, "No, I was thinking more about like $50. $50 to clean the kitchen?" She said, "Yeah, but I'm going to clean the kitchen." So I said,
well, I mean, you look at people pay over $200 people to clean their cars.
Right. Well, I said, I looked at the kitchen and went, "Okay, you got it." And so I went on to sleep, and about 2:00 in the morning I came in there and she was still cleaning, and she did everything.
Did she clean your mess in the counter on the stovetop?
Everything. She did. She was amazing. She got the stove looked really good, but I was so proud of her. I said, "Oh, this is worth it." And Sam came in and went, all the stuff was cleared off the counters. He didn't go, but he went, "Who did this?" And Cindy said, "I have." And she said, and so he's going to pay her. He's going to pay her really good money to clean that. So we'll see if that incentive will stay, that kind of money. She was so happy. She was so happy that everybody was so happy. Okay, everybody, tomorrow you've got to join us. You have to be here because we're going to have Andrew Young. Now, we had him a few weeks ago.
You said Andrew Yang.
I did?
Yeah.
Andrew Yusey. Yeah. Andrew Yusey is going to be here. I love that name. And his assistant is going to be with us. And that's going to be tomorrow. And they're going to talk about all the things that are going on in Conroe, what's coming up with Conroe, what awards Conroe has won. And so if you're new to the area, this is going to be good for you. Even if you've been here a long time, this will be good for you to see what they're doing now for security, for the mud district, for the water department, everything. He's going to be able to talk about all of that. So thank you, Richard, for being my co-host today.
Yeah, it was lovely to see you.
It was just lovely to see you as well.
Happy Valentine's Day,
Cindy. Happy Valentine's Day.
Now, let's talk about that. Am I supposed to tell you that?
Of course.
Do I wish other people Happy Valentine's Day?
I think so. Probably. I mean, you have to ask your wife. She may say, "Only me." You say Happy Valentine's Day.
Pretty much anything I do, I need to run by her. Is what it sounds like.
I love that. I love Holly. That's so
Me
great.
too.
I'm glad you do. You should. You were so lucky to find her.
She's the best thing ever.
I was right there when he found her, and he just head over heels. It was it. He knew that was it. So y'all should have fun tonight and be sure and think about what it was like when y'all first got together. It's so amazing. And listen, first responders, we love you. Air Force, we love you. I know they're putting you on missions that you go like, what are we doing up here? But you're doing it, and you're keeping us safe. Thank you so much for keeping us safe. And we hope that everybody has a great weekend. A great weekend. I'm sorry. What? Just say it out loud. What? Oh. That's like when I'm trying to do something in sign language, I'm trying to sign something, and they say it out loud. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, Chris Wootton, for the Wootton Financial Group being our sponsor. We love you. We love you. And you're getting ready to listen to Chris right now. Chris has got this going. All right. See you later. We'll see you tomorrow.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors